The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the August 20th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it out to steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. And, of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, and you should be, well, then any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day with everything moving to the downside. You've got the S&P, that's down 52. The Dow is off 68. The NASDAQ 100, 343, 20 for the Russell, 228 for the transports, 139 for the semis, 331 for the NASDAQ composite, and 34 for the New York Stock Exchange. Gold is up $28. Silver's up 44 cents. Light sweet crude is up 46 pennies. Natural gas back 2 cents. And we've got the chart that I've got up on my screen here, just so that we can understand, get a feel for what's really going on in the markets out here. This is the equal weighted ETF for the S&P 500, the RSP. You can see we are still up basically at its highs. Now, this does have a topping pattern. It has a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Prices testing its swing point. Let me make sure I've got the right. Yeah, this is the swing point right here from July 25th. That swing point has volume of 9.5 million shares. We tested it yesterday with 10 million shares. So the signal there was, because we closed below it, it was a test and rejection, was that we would be back up there and test it. Well, we did get back up there this morning and tested. We got up to a high today, 187.23. The low of the swing point is 186.35. Again, the volume on that swing is 9.5. In less than 2 hours of trading, we've done volume of 5.4 million shares. 5.4 versus 9.5. That says we have higher volume as we've tested that swing point. The RSP should retest at least that swing point, but there's volume there. Kind of interesting. If you look at the weekly time frame chart, just a consolidation with inside its profile out there and up towards the top of that profile. Same thing on the monthly time frame. No real damage here. If we take a look at the QQEW, though, we're going to see some damage. Well, I think we're going to see damage. Let's go find out. It's not going to be anywhere near the damage that we see inside of the Qs. Here, the QQEW, which did have a TD9 count, we're back to its swing point from back on August the 1st. That swing point had volume of 60,000 shares. So far today, what we've done is 29,000 shares. So we're moving into that swing point with volume. What that says to us is that if price is able to close the day below 135.34, the equal-weighted ETF will at least go test that low, which is 133.62. Why are we spending time with the equal-weighted ETF? Because they typically point the direction, the true direction of what the market's intentions are. And right now, we've got markets trading lower. More than that, we've got markets trading below profile levels. If we take a look at the daily equity future contracts out here, and we begin with the NQ, we can see that yesterday it found support at the 23,454 level, the bottom of its support. Today, not so much. We're trading well below that, and we are trading into its swing point that did find support at its TD9 count breakdown level, which was at 22,803. I suspect that is where price is headed to. However, this is going to be day number 5 in a row to the downside for the NQ. Let's open this up. The last time we had 5 moves to 5 days to the downside, or the NQ, was back here being when? It was back on January 14th of 2025 out there. So when you typically move in quantities above or below 4, above 4 if you're moving to the upside, below 4 if you're moving to the downside out there, it's typically a signal of a change in trend. But that real change in trend signal for the NQ, that won't come unless we see a close below its breakout level at 22,803 out there. If we look at the other equity future contracts, the ES Mini, it's right now trading below the level where a counter trend move to the downside would come to an end. That's 63.99. You're going to want to watch that at day's end. What happens if price closes below that? Well, then this is not a counter trend move to the downside. There's something else that's going on. And what we know about that something else that could be going on, it could be just simply the post-election seasonal cycle. And that's the one thing that you and I need to be aware of. This is not the post-election seasonal cycle. This is the normal seasonal cycle for the S&P 500, which says that we really should be in rally mode through about the first week of September. But we can change this. We've got 97 years worth of data here, and we can change this to the post-election cycle. And that's what we have now. I'm going to get rid of 2025. No reason for that to influence anything out here. And this suggests that we find a top right around August the 2nd. Remember, we use this as a guideline, not as a right to the day, although the bottom on April 7th that came in, that was to be expected with regard to when the S&P should have bottomed at that time. This suggests that the market should move lower into the October timeframe. Now, what this is also showing us is that we should get some type of rally, potentially a little bit of a rally, into the end of the month out here. Today is the 20th. So that's what this is showing here. We take a look at this. We know September and October, are tough months when we take a look at the post-election seasonal cycle out there. But this could be the pattern that we are on out there. If we take a look at the, what would change our mind? If we see an ES close above 63.99, then we'd have to say, something to think about. If we take a look at the Dow, and this is where there's some problems from the short side potentially, and that is that the Dow is holding up. What does that mean? That means we may start seeing global capital flowing in. You got the Dow, in essence, basically flat. It's not moving anywhere near to the downside like the ES, like the NQ is. And the Russell 2000 finally giving it up. Yesterday generated a bear sash candle to generate a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Price is below profile support. If we get a close below 2278, it increases the odds of move back to its buy zone. That's between 2190 and 2220 out there. So what this really says, if we take a look at those equal-weighted ETFs out there, is what we really ought to do is be taking a look at what's going on inside the top 8 instruments inside of the NDX 100. So why don't we do that? Let's begin that process now. We'll just try to do it on this set of charts out here. There we go. So if we take a look at Apple, on a daily time frame for Apple, I do not have a topping pattern. I just don't. Doesn't mean that isn't top. But Apple right now is traded into its buy zone. The buy zone, you're going to want to watch this throughout the day, is between 220. It's between 226.26 and 229.21. So far, the low of the day is at 226.11. So Apple may have found support. On a weekly time frame, nothing really gigantic there. The monthly time frame price did run up into resistance at its oscillator and change line, and that was at the 231.18. We come back from this break, we're going to go take a look at NVIDIA, Microsoft, Broadcom, Cisco, Adobe, Palantir, and Qualcomm. I think those are still the top 8 instruments inside the NDX 100. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no cash or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Hey, a slight change in plans here. During that break, I went to take a look at, as of last evening, the top 8 holdings, really the top 10 holdings. I just put the top 8 in here. Inside the NASDAQ 100, NVIDIA being in the front spot. So we'll come back to Apple because it's still in there. It's number 3, followed by Microsoft. But we can see that NVIDIA has pulled back to test the bottom of its daily profile, 169.50. This looks like a fairly balanced profile. I mean, the center's pretty close to the balance out there. NVIDIA is also testing support of its weekly. On its weekly chart, that's the oscillator and change line. That price point that it's testing is at 168.89. Those are the levels to be watching. 169.50. If we close below that, we're likely headed towards the 154.79 level. But price is sitting at support inside of NVIDIA. If we take a look at Microsoft out here, we'll get these charts here to populate momentarily. We'll get the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. In the case of the daily chart, price is testing profile support. Microsoft is testing its buy zone. The buy zone is between 506 and 511. If we close below 506, to be exact, 506.18, I could get us back to 489, but on the weekly time frame chart, price is also testing support. It's the top of its buy zone, which is between 489 and 505, and it's also testing its oscillator and change line out there. That's the number 2 instrument. Apple, as we talked about earlier, was also testing support on its daily time frame. So we have a number of instruments that are back at key levels out there. That level of support, again, this was a buy zone for Apple that was between the price points of 226.26 and 229.21. Now, this is a key level of support because the weekly, as you can see, is not testing any area of support. So if Apple were to close below 226.26, certainly for 2 consecutive days, that would suggest a pullback towards the 214 level out there, the weekly oscillator and change line. That's number 3 weighting. If we take a look at Amazon down $5, up a little bit, about 2% to the downside. It is testing the top of its profile. That is its first level of support, and that is at 221.46. The weekly time frame chart is testing its green oscillator and change line. Really not too shabby out there. Let's take a look at Broadcom. As we take a look at Broadcom, AVGO is the ticker symbol out here. That is testing what? We are trading below profile support. We closed below it yesterday. We are trading below it today. It looks like Avgo wants to make a move to the 269.58 level. That is its TD9 count breakout area. That's what the daily chart says. The weekly chart says hold your horses, Stevie, because price is sitting on its oscillator and change line, and it's trading into a buy zone. That's between 268.13 and 284.54 out there. Not falling apart. If we take a look at Facebook or Meta is trading out at 740.30. It's down $11. It's off 1.5%. It's trading into a gap. We'll see what the volume was on that gap to the upside. That was on the trading day of July 31st. The volume there was 38 million shares. We're pulling back so far today with 5.7 million shares in 2 hours of trading. Now, it's still trading above resistance. Resistance being the top of its daily profile at 726.97. The weekly is testing the top of its profile as well, and also its green oscillator and change line out there. Now, the 30-minute chart, if you look at that, you can see the 30-minute is rallied right up into that oscillator and change line. If price can close above that, it being, let me give you that number out here, it being 740.84. If we close above 740.84, Meta ought to continue its rally with a price target of 767.17 out there. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix is number 7 of the top 8 inside the NDX 100. Netflix is down $12. That is 1%. Netflix remains above the top of its daily profile. There is nothing that is broken there. It does have a TD9 count top. The level of its top of its profile is 1192.44. Key area. If price were to close below that, we should see price pull back to its breakout area. That, or buy zone, I should say, between 1170 and 1177. Let's take a look at the last one out here, Tesla. Tesla is down $9. It's off nearly 3%, trading out at 319 buckaroonies out here. What is it doing? It right now is trading below profile support. That's at 327.24. A second consecutive close below that ought to take Tesla back to its breakout level at 305.65 out there. So these are the top instruments that we know that this is where the problem is. It is not in the equal weighted. It is, it maybe is in the top 15. Maybe the top 20 instrument. The rest seem to be okay when we took a look at the equal-weighted ETFs out there. So that's suggesting with things coming back to support. Well, let's go see what's going on inside of the NQ on an intraday basis out here. Since we were just taking a look at the NASDAQ 100, in essence, the top 8 out there, what do we got going on inside the NQ? So I see 2 TD9 count bottom pattern potentials. Those would be by day's end. One is coming from the 5-hour time frame chart. There's only two. And this bar here is going to close at 2 p.m. So by the that'd be bar number 8, which can be a bottom out there. We're at bar number 8 on the 240-minute chart, also at 2 o'clock close, and then a 4 o'clock close. So again, that's where I'm coming. By day's end out there, those charts should have TD9 count bottom patterns. Remember, they can always bottom on bar number 8, so that bottom may have already taken place. The bottom where we at least get a rally or a bounce, and one for a couple of days out here. If you look at the 120-minute time frame chart, this closes at 12 noon, 11:24. Don't know if we'll still have a bullish hammer candle at 12 noon. If we did, that would be a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. We've got, do we have an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside on the 60-minute time frame chart? We most certainly do. So what we know here is you've got a bull sash candle going. It's only 11:24, but if we get a bullish reversal candle as we come to the 12 noon time frame, we ought to get a rally to 23,251, 23,349. Those would be the price targets out there. The 30-minute time frame chart, we've got to less than 6 minutes, so this is going to confirm a buy the D point bottom. That says watch 23,245 to the upside, and above that, I would say watch the 23,360 ish level out there. The 15-minute time frame chart, we're already trading above profile resistance. If we can close here at 11:30, so another 4 minutes from now, above the 23,193 level, that'll increase the odds that we should see a further rally out there. And we're getting that same kind of a signal from the 10-minute time frame chart. Let's see, on that 10-minute time frame chart, what do we have? A TD9 count bottom pattern. And this is suggesting that price should rally up towards the 23,432 level. This is the NQ that we are talking about here. So, got a minute to go. Is there anything else that we need to take a look at out here in some of these charts? Let's look at the New York Stock Exchange and the as well as the Spot VIX Index. Spot VIX Index this morning rallied all the way up to the 50-day exponential moving average. Got just slightly above that. The 50-day right now is at 1708. We tested and rejected that. That provides buyers with an edge, not sellers with an edge. If you close above 1708, we probably have a one-day rate of change above plus 10%. If we get that, that suggests that we should see an overnight rally. But right now, that level has held, and so it's still in position now. If you take the New York Stock Exchange, just a sideways move after yesterday's TD9 count top completion out there. Boy, very, very interesting out here. Okay, so we're about to go to a break. We come back from this break. We're going to look at the GATX for John in Milwaukee, RGTI for Duncan, Steve Marvell for Duncan as well. And there's some notes in here in the Tiger's Den that I'll read, and we'll get to those requests as well. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the New York Stock Exchange. We had this chart up just momentarily. Peter asked to take a look at it one more time. Peter, if you look at the New York Stock Exchange Advanced Client Oscillator, that's in the bottom left panel, you're going to see that we have been below the zero threshold level for the last 3 or 4 days since August the 14th out there. And that provides sellers with a edge out there, whereas when the VIX is below the 50-day exponential moving average, it provides buyers with the edge. Now, in the case of the VIX, we most certainly have a rising spot VIX index out there. So that bodes well for the S&P 500 to move lower, but we've been moving lower for 4 consecutive days out there. So that's what's going on with regard to the Advanced Client Oscillator, Peter. Hope that gave you the information you were looking for. John in Milwaukee asked to take a look at ticker symbol GATX. So let's get the GATX right now. That is trading out at about 159.81. It is trading above its TD9 count breakdown level, which is at 159.27, closed above it yesterday, remains above it today, John. That is a bullish outcome. We are also trading above profile resistance at 159.10. We're also trading above its green oscillator and change line. It wants to rally further. Okay, wants to rally further. How come it isn't, Stevie? Because it's dealing, John, with resistance. The first resistance level is the top of the weekly profile that formed last week, 159.94, an important number for you to watch. The second issue is on a monthly time frame. GATX is approaching its sell zone, and the sell zone is between the levels of 160.65 and 168.89 out there. Everything looks good, but you are up against sellers that are established by those profiles out there. Those are the levels to be watching. Hope that gives you the information that you were looking for. Duncan Steve wanted to take a look at RGTI. RGTI right now is trading out at 1467. It closed below its daily profile yesterday. It is trading below the profile again today. So we have a profile change in trend after generating a Rhodes momentum indicator top on August the 15th. Now what price is doing is it's testing a swing point from back on August 1st. Steve-O, that had volume of 31 million shares. We are testing it so far today with 15 million. With 2 hours of trading, it looks to me like we are pushing into that swing point with volume. Even if we reject it, that means close above 1437. We ought to get back down there tomorrow or the next day and test at least that swing point again. At least the high of that swing point, 1437. Now, if you close inside that today, that tells you you're going to get down to 1361, the bottom of that swing point. A weekly time frame, just a sideways move over the last 4 or 5 weeks out there, so nothing big there. It's really about the daily time frame. This will be day number 3, perhaps day number 4 in a row to the downside out there. So that's what's going on with regard to RGTI. You want to take a look at Marvell as well. MRVL is a ticker symbol. Let's pull up its set of charts out there. Marvell is trading out right now at, drumroll Johnny, $70.47. It looks very similar to RGTI in that it's trading below the bottom of its daily profile. This will be day number 2. It's trading into a hammer swing point from back on July the 16th. That hammer had volume of 26 million shares. Today, we've done 8 million shares. So we're moving back with somewhat lighter volume out there. If price is able to close above the high of that swing point, 71.02, you'd have a test and rejection on lighter volume. If you can't bust them down, price would try to bust them up. The bust them up resistance level, the first one would be 73.54. Marvell on a weekly time frame. Weekly time frame is testing support. It's testing the center of its bearish structured weekly profile. We closed above it for 2 consecutive weeks. This is where, if it's only a counter trend move to the downside, Marvell would find support. We won't know that till Friday, and that is at 70.12. A close above 70.12, and that key level will have held out there. On a monthly time frame, we have a consolidation with inside its profiles, Dunk. That's between 60.62 and 90.34 out there. So that's what's going on with regard to Marvell. John. No, it wasn't John. It's GPH. GPH inside the Tiger's Den wants to take a look at the intraday charts for Goldilocks. So let's pull those up on our screen out here. The upper left is going to be the daily time frame. I don't think I have it drawn in here, but we've got nothing more than a big old giant consolidation going on. It's been going on since April out there. No idea when the consolidation will end. and which direction it will end in. But as we speak right now, if we're going to take a look at gold on the daily time frame, bar number 8 will form today if price closes below the close of bar number 4. 33.8320 is a number. We're at 33.84. 33.85 right now. What happens if we close above the close of bar number 5? Well, the numbers will go away because it just simply doesn't fit the TD9 count sequence, and we just have a consolidation with inside its daily profile. That's not the consolidation that I'm talking about. This consolidation would be between 33.38 and 34.14. That's the daily time frame. I know you wanted the intraday chart, so if we go down to the 10-minute time frame chart, Rhodes momentum indicator top, bottom right panel, price getting back and holding support. Watch 33.84.40. That level may hold. On a 15-minute time frame basis, Rhodes momentum indicator top. If 33.84.40 fails, we'll see price get down to the 33.79, 33.81 level. That is the 15-minute buy zone. If price gets below 33.79, then that opens up the door for 33.63, 33.66 out there. The 60-minute time frame chart ran into resistance at its TD9 count breakdown level. That was at 33.89, may pull back to its oscillator and change line, and that would be at 33.74. Now, this negated a TD9 count top, which is bullish, but we can see that the other intraday charts out there, whether it's the 30-minute, the 15 to the 10, they're driving things right now, and they're pulling price back, but the 60-minute time frame chart says, I want higher price, as does the 120, as does the 240. Right now, the 5-hour chart is dealing with profile resistance. It's trading basically right near it, which is at 33.86.10. We're trading at 33.86.10. It's trading right on it. So that's the review of the intraday chart for Goldilocks. GPH, I hope that gave the information that you were looking for. Let's take a look at Dan, who wants to take a look at ticker symbol SLS. So let's get that up on our screen. The question is, where the Sam heck did Stevie put SLS? That wasn't it. It's the one before this. So let's get to let's do that. So let's change up the order here. Let's take a look at CLNN. This is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. Trading out at 449. The daily chart looks mighty fine out there. The weekly chart looks mighty fine. What do you mean mighty fine? We're trading above resistance levels, whether it's profile or whether it's the oscillator and change on the monthly chart. We're not even going to touch. Now, the weekly time frame is trading into a swing point from June 6th. That swing had volume of 1.6 million shares. We're not halfway through the week, but what we've done is 387,000 shares. One thing is for sure, Dan, price is trading higher with light volume. No doubt about that. But we're above resistance. There's no reason for it to not go tag that high, and that high would be $4.95 out there, especially with the daily trading above resistance levels. However, look at that swing point. So here's your culprit. It's trading into this, which may be a high volume swing point, 912,000 shares. So far today, 43,000 shares. Maybe that is a high volume high, Dan, that's just simply going to be tested. I don't have anything on the charts to suggest that it won't get tested. So if that helps you out, we come back to this break. We'll go take a look at SLS, and then we'll take a look at NVIDIA. Be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Let's get to ticker symbol SLS. Give me a moment to do that. Let's get back to the right tab. There we go. This is for Dan inside the Tigers Den. So, Dan, we've been above the top of its daily profile for now. This would be the 3rd consecutive session. So we have a bullish profile change in trend there. It did bottom with a wave number 7. That's letter G, bottom out there. That's courtesy of one of the Chapman wave tools. So this should continue to rally further. So now the question is, where's the next level of resistance? Turns out that may be at $1.87, the center of its weekly profile. So if you can close above $1.87, what that ought to do is get you up to the 211 mark. Now, as it approaches 211, we're going to be testing a swing point from the trading session of July 4th. July. How is that possible? Oh, it's the week of July 4th. There we go. There was 12 million shares, but I don't know. We were shorted trading day, I'm going to guess. 12 million shares. So far for the week, we're up with 6 million shares. We're halfway through the week. Volume pretty good there, but I'd have to go back to really look at that July 4th week. Doesn't really matter. Dan, here's the deal. 187 is your next resistance point. Above that, you're at the 211 area. If you close above 211, really what you'd want to do is close above 227 out there, and that would then suggest you're moving to the races to the upside. Now, there's a TD9 count top. That's at that high. That's at that 227 high. That formed back on July the 2nd out there. So that's what I see when we take a look at SLS. Joe was looking for an entry point in NVIDIA. Joe, I did go over the top 8 instruments. I'm going to go ahead because it was NVIDIA as well. If you got that question, maybe somebody else didn't hear us also. This is for you to make that decision. And what I mean by that is I'm going to open up the daily time frame chart for NVIDIA. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look to see how often has this, since the lows out here in July, that TD9 count bottom, April 7th, has NVIDIA closed below the bottom of a profile, or has the bottom of a profile, in essence, been the buy zone. The first test of that, in essence, came in on May 23rd. That was testing the bottom of its bullish structured profile. Turns out that was a buy. The next time we were into a buy zone, May 30th, that turned out to be a buy. Next time we were at the bottom of profile was back on July 1st and July 2nd. That, in fact, turned out to be a buy. On the trading session of July 22nd, price closed below its bullish structured profile. It only did it for one session. The very next day back in it, turned out that was a buy. Okay, so we know about that. So the risk is up to you, the risk reward. NVIDIA this morning got back to 169.50. That's the bottom of its profile. This may be a day number 2 decline out there. So that's the weekly time frame. Now, we've pulled away from that level. We're at 172 and change out there. No idea whether we'll get back down there. But I gave you the number. I gave everybody the number out there because if we close below it for more than 2 consecutive sessions, that tells us something. Now, on that weekly time frame for NVIDIA, price was also pulling back and testing its oscillator and change line on the weekly time frame at the 169 level. That is a bullish signal. We do have a bar number 8 executed out here. In order for a TD9 count pattern to form this week, NVIDIA must close above 173.50 out there. We're trading at 172.81. So I don't know whether you'd rather see the weekly TD9 count top go away. I'd vote for that one. Okay, and so that says you actually wanted to trade a little bit lower out there, but that's just a desire that you'd have. It may have bottomed. Getting back to that green oscillator and change line. You want to talk about one of the powers of understanding the OUL? Go take that workshop. Come on, it's not that complicated. Plus, you get another 6 or 7 workshops out there, and you're going to take away some nuggets that you'll use for the rest of your life. I guarantee you will use the things that I teach. At least some of the things I teach you, you'll use them for the rest of your life out there. So with regard to NVIDIA, you've got the information. There's no, the monthly is in wave number 7. That's letter G that you see up there. But the earliest confirmation of that would come in the end of September out there. So that's what I've got with regard to NVIDIA. Joe, I hope that helps you out. McGuppy wants to take a look at APP. So let's pull that up on our screen. And the question basically, I believe, is buy, sell, hold, if I'm not mistaken. So let's take a look at APP. APP is generating a daily profile change in trend. Day number 2 below its profile. The next level of support out here on a daily time frame for APP would be down at its breakout level, which was at 355.16, and that's a level we know that didn't actually hold price. Weekly time frame. Price is sitting above the top of its weekly profile and is sitting basically on its oscillator and change line. 407.49 is the number. We're at 403.57 right now. The monthly chart looks pretty good out there with price being above profile resistance as well as its oscillator and change line. McGuppy, you're asking buy, sell, or hold. I think that, and you said you've been into it for a while, from April. So where's the April area out here? So I would probably wait to see if 379.86 continues to hold. That is the top of that weekly profile. And you're sitting on that oscillator and change line. So the daily's giving us a problem, but the weekly's trying to hold support at this point in time. Let's go take a Palantir, see if that message is clear. And look, why don't we take a look at the APP again, if not tomorrow? Why don't we take a look at it on Friday out there? But for the meantime, let's take a look at Palantir. Palantir, a very similar look to APP. This is going to be day number 1 below its bullish structured profile. A second close below 154.75, McGuppy, ought to get us to 132.32. And there's nothing on the weekly chart to suggest otherwise. The weekly chart has a wave number 7 top out there. But it is also, just like APP was, trade above the top of its daily profile. I like APP's charts better than Palantir's charts, just simply from a technical standpoint. 139.64 is a support level. The monthly chart for Palantir, no problems there. So this is just a daily thing. And now this is going to be day number 6, potentially in a row, for Palantir to the downside. Let's open up the daily Palantir chart out there, just taking us back for a year. We've had several 5-day moves to the downside. That's just taking us back into a 2024 time frame out there. So here it looks like we're getting day number 6 to the downside. That suggests to me, well, we should get a bounce soon. The question is, I don't have anything to really suggest that today is that low out there for Palantir. So, McGuppy, I hope that gave the information that you were looking for both App and Palantir, and much appreciate your request. Now, there was a request out there, and I don't remember who it came in from. And it seems like it's gone. Are we able to delete messages inside the The Discord, I just don't use it enough to know the answer to the question. I've been looking for that question, and I just simply can't find it. And the question was really more about the equal-weighted ETFs and whether or not, let me put that equal-weighted ETF up. Oh, what do I have here? Give me a second to... Did I pull that up? Yeah, let's take a look at this right here. So here you've got at the top, you've got the equal-weighted ETFs. The bottom, you've got the regular ETF, the weighted ETFs, the Diamond, the SPY, and the Q. And the question was, the mere fact that the equal-weighted ETF for the S&P and the Dow are holding up so well, is this likely a signal that stocks are getting ready to take off if, in fact, we get a peace deal? I don't know the answer to that question. I really don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if the cycle that we're in, because we do have those tops, if the cycle that we're in, the post-election seasonal cycle, let's put that up on our screen here real quickly, or try to. I guess we can't do it quickly. Oh, yeah, we can right here. Is this the pattern? That's the driving pattern. And I don't know the answer to that question out there. Steve Rhodes, I'll say this when I get back from this break. Be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. So the question that came in earlier was, the equal-weighted ETFs are holding up pretty well. If we get a peace deal in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia, will the stock market take off to the top side? I'm not so sure that we're going to get any kind of deal. out there. And I'm basing that based upon watching how the markets are trading, and specifically gold. If we take a look at gold out here, I think there's still troubles in the Middle East, and I don't think we're going to get a peace deal out there. At least that's the way that gold is trading. We're still up near its highs. Look, if you take a look at the Hamas attack on Israel at that music festival on October 7, 2023, gold never looked back. In fact, it didn't start looking, where gold in essence topped out was during that June 13th attack on the Iranian nuclear facilities, their Operation Midnight Hammer, 34.52.80 out there. So gold is certainly not trading because there's huge premium in here. This has nothing to do with inflation. This is about geopolitical risk and all that type of stuff. So I'm actually, at this stage here, my read is there's no peace deal coming. So then if there's no peace deal coming, I would throw out the question, how do you think the market trades? Yeah, I think that's what we're really looking at. Now, let's take a look at Shopify for Mohammed. Shopify Mohammed is trading below the bottom of its daily profile. You're in bar number 7. You're inside this gap to the upside. I think this is going to go on and form a TD9 count bottom pattern, and it'll do that between tomorrow, Thursday, and next Monday as it tries to fill that gap. The weekly chart has a TD9 count top. That suggests a pullback to 126.35 or 128 out there. Let's take a look at Alibaba for you as well. That was your last request or your next request. Alibaba, I just noticed, has an island top out there down the daily time frame. You'll see this chart out here. You see that's a big old island top. Now, in this case here, price is just consolidating with inside its daily profile. Mohammed, you want to watch the 118.60 level. If we close below that for 2 consecutive sessions, we may be signaling a further move lower. If you got a weekly TD9 count top, you got an island top after a TD9 count pattern out there. Alibaba says there could be major trouble ahead. Folks, thanks for joining me today on Wonderful Wednesday. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Terrific Thursday. Have a great day. Be safe out there. We'll see you soon.